There's been this renewed focus on currency stability now from policymakers. How long is that going to last, and is it really going to take precedence over monetary easing?
We believe that would be one of the key factors. So the first possible timing for the PBOC to cut the MLF rate the next time will be in June, but more likely they might have to delay that into the third quarter. So currency stability takes very high priority this year in our view. This is under the backdrop of a global election year, and we already started to see protectionism, trade barrier measures being rolled out, and therefore maintaining FX stability would be one key consideration when China making economic policies this year.
Right. And what do you think the short-term direction of the exchange rates will be?
We believe they have to move the fixing slightly further higher to allow spot to move higher a bit further. Because once spot hits the weak band, which is implied by the fixing of like 2% from the fixing, they only have three options. One is to step up intervention of the domestic dollar CNY spot. Second is to move fixing a bit higher. If they don't do both, then the consequence is that trading might stop. Because onshore trading system works differently. If you put a order at the CFAT system at the weak band, if nobody is on the other side to take the other trade, there's no trade. So we might even see a decline of volume like what we have seen last September and October.
So does that mean the depreciation pressure will continue? I'm just wondering, because our Mark Cranfield was just saying, right? How long can the PBOC afford to keep those fixings pretty much frozen when dollar yen's at 154 right now? There's a bit of a false narrative that it's stronger against most of its peers.
Exactly. What PBOC have been doing since late last year is keep waiting for the dollar to weaken. But the current scenario, especially when the ECB is likely to be cutting ahead of the Fed, suggests that dollar might stay strong for longer. And therefore, they are slightly changing their strategy indeed. So we believe they will indeed need to move the fixing a bit higher, especially during the second quarter when seasonal demand for FX is already rising.
That sounds like, if I'm a hedge fund, my trade is to short currency.
Exactly. We feel that almost everyone are shorting dollar CNH in their outright forward curve, and therefore, since last week, I believe all the questions that we receive would be people fearing there is a sudden loosening of the CNH liquidity condition offshore, which would be putting such trades at risk. So from our perspective, we feel that the PBOC are getting more and more experience in managing all these effects, and whenever they feel there's a strong consensus trade, they could be doing the opposite. So we do believe they need to maintain relatively strong intervention in the short term, but also allow spot to move higher as the fixing.